What up, guys? Spotter here. We got the weekly Nightfall. It's the Nexus. We have Void Burn on, and I apologize for getting this out late to you guys. It's the day after it came out, but it lasts a week. And I gotta tell you, I mean, I had some other things going on, but it was not fun. This one is not fun running it solo, especially since it's now level 30. Okay, so the first area we're getting into, you got to take out the 3 servitors. The 3 servitors are deadly. There's also a captain. Even though he doesn't shoot void damage weapons, he is still something to contend with. You want to make sure you have lots of ammo synth. I would go with, you know, primary, secondary, and, a special and heavy, okay? So I'm running Atheon's Epilogue. I do have, I think it's the Praetus Revenge. If you guys have another better Void sniper rifle, then I would suggest that. Praetus Revenge, I think, is the best Void sniper rifle I have. It's only 300 damage, though. And then, you know, an appropriate Void rocket launcher. You may want to consider doing something with Arc. I do have I think I have my Blade Dancer on. So, either my Blade... No, actually, is that not... No, that's not Blade Dancer. I think that's a Gunslinger. So, Gunslinger or Blade Dancer, because the captain, I mean, he has arc shields, but then there are also a couple of enemies that have the solar shields, okay? So you may want to consider having a little bit of variety in your repertoire, for lack of a better word, all right? In your toolbox, whatever you want to call it. So, like I said, we've got these 3 servitors. There are a ton of enemies down here, and all I'm doing, I'm using this spot. Sometimes, as you saw a few seconds ago, you'll get a drag come up and try and melee you. The melee's not too bad. They don't do void melee damage, unlike when you're running Arc Burn on some of the hive enemies and the Thrall come in and melee you. They actually do arc damage on their melee. So one melee hit from most of these enemies isn't going to kill you, but nonetheless, you definitely want to stay away, all right? So I'm going to take these servitors out from afar with the sniper rifle, and as much as possible. Obviously, I'm going to try and hang back as much as possible. You don't want to push up too far. So you've got the servitors that could spawn in this building right here to my right. You've got them up in that far building where he is now. And there's a spawn on the far right as well as the far left. So there are 4 possible spawns for the servitors. You just have to be careful that you don't get caught while you're taking one down, that you get caught by a servitor spawning in. Like where I am right now is probably not the best spot, because if I take down that servitor and another one spawns in like right behind me, I might be in a bit of trouble, all right? So you obviously want to move up. You have to kind of move up. When when these guys are all cleared back and they're sort of hanging in the back, they're all camping in the background, right? These Shanks, are those Shanks, yeah. So the Shanks, yeah, they definitely have the solar shield, so they're a bit tough to take down with the void damage. But 2 shots with the sniper rifle with Praetus Revenge, and it does take a little bit with the Atheon's Epilogue with the Void primary auto rifle. All right, guys. So we're just going to skip ahead here. Like I said, all it is doing this. I mean, I hang back, I shoot these guys, I use a sniper rifle, I use my rockets sometimes if there's a big group of enemies or I want to take down the servitors. And I have used my rockets because I've been through this a number of times. Like I said, I ended up killing myself a few times just with my rocket launcher. And, you know, you get one shot by the Nexus and you're pretty much dead. Like, you're dead. One shot. Almost. If it's right on. 2 shots if it's splash damage. So you just got to take your time, all right, guys? You got to have a little bit of patience, okay? So we're going to get to the end of this bit where we move up the stairs. This area is cleared. We got the 3 servitors taken out, and let's skip to that right now. All right, so they're all taken care of. Now, there are, I think, about 3 vandals. 3 vandals that end up running down the stairs trying to attack you with the swords, and I'm just making sure that there aren't any enemies that are on my level. I think they're all above me. All right, so we've got some majors or ultras or whatever you want to call them. I think they're majors. And the guys with the vandals, they'll just be red health vandals. I don't even see them. Maybe I've already killed them. You just got to watch out for that, all right? And we're going to take out these guys. I got my golden gun. And then once you take these guys out, there are a bunch of yellow health vandals that are in the room above us. A couple of invisible guys, invisible vandals, and I think there's some shanks, and I'm not sure if there are any dregs up there, but I guess we'll see. Okay, so we're going to take out these guys off the stairs from afar. I never like to get into close quarters. Close quarters is bad on Nightfall, especially when you're running solo. Even if you're not running solo, you don't want to get in close quarters, because if you go down, your teammates got to go up and catch, and and revive you. You're putting them at risk as well, and you never want to get that. Everybody's down and have to go back to orbit, because that always sucks on a Nightfall, man. I hate it. All right, so we're moving up. We're moving into the room here, and you'll see, like I said, we've got a bunch of guys in here. But it's not too difficult. All I'm going to do is stay out in the doorway. We're going to take them out one by one. They don't even come out the door. They just stay inside. I mean, you can snipe them. You can use your rocket launcher. You can use, whatever the heck you want. I mean, you don't even have to have void damage on, although it's just going to take you a lot longer. Even the arc damage weapons do a lot of damage. Again, they're still level 30 enemies, so don't think that you can just take damage from arc or solar weapons just because it's only a void burn Nightfall, right? These weapons will still take you down fairly quickly. Okay, so I got my golden gun going there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip ahead once this room's clear, and we're going to go on to the next couple sections. Alright, so here we are making our way into the other areas. We're going to drop down a set of stairs. There's going to be some dregs and vandals. They're not too bad, pretty easy to deal with. Right down this corridor right here. Okay, and then in the next room you're going to have some Fallen that are fighting some Vex. And again, those guys are pretty simple to take down, no real worries. But you are respawn restricted, okay? So don't forget, any point you have that little skull at the top, that means you die, you're going to orbit. See you later, right? So don't just think because you're in kind of a cleared area. I think it's only the public areas, really, where you don't have that. You don't have that skull. But once you get the skull on, man, you got to be careful, okay? So we got these guys cleared out. Now we're going to go down the next set of stairs, and there are some harpies at the bottom of the stairs. Make sure, as you go through a Nightfall, you want to take everything out as you go. You don't want to leave any enemies behind you. You don't want to rush past anything, just in case you got to fall back. If you got to fall back and there are guys that you haven't taken care of, you're going to be done. You're pretty much going to be done, all right? So we're going to take out these guys. Come on. Let's go. Where are you? I don't want your shields going back up. And there we go. Okay, so now we have these Vex goblins. And the goblins aren't too bad, but the yellow health ones, the yellow ultras or majors, they have void weapons, okay? You don't want to shoot their heads off. You shoot their heads off, they come running and they just keep firing. They're very difficult to deal with. The red guys aren't too bad. The guys with red health, they're not too bad. And what I did when I ran a couple other times in here, this is I think my first time clearing this section, was I use a sniper and try to hit him in the crit. Okay, so there's a yellow guy right there, and he has a void weapon. Like I said, you get these Vex upset, you knock their heads off, and they just come running and they keep firing. So I got killed by that yellow Vex, that yellow health Vex, a number of times, and that's why I'm falling back. I'm like, these guys are running at me because their heads are gone. I'm trying to figure out, oh god, this is not the room I want to be in. I want to be over here. So always remember your route to fall back, because these guys will keep chasing you. They'll keep chasing you, and that's it. See what I mean? Like, he's still chasing me, and it's not bad because these are the red guys, right? So it's not even that bad. But like I said, that's the route you want to take when you do shoot the heads off of these guys that have the yellow health, okay? So we're going to head back down, and I'm going to try and take some of these red health guys, the goblins, which are pretty easy to take down with my Atheon's Epilogue. The Minotaurs, there are 2 Minotaurs. I'm going to try using rocket, and I actually killed myself once here because I was firing my rocket and ended up sort of ducking away from his fire at the same time, and I just shot the wall. And ended up, yeah, splash damage, void. Yeah, you're done. Okay, so I'm going to take out these hobgoblins up top. That was one. I think there was another. And you can go back and forth. I mean, go from side to side, because once you fire at one of them on the one side, they'll sort of aggro towards that side. You can go across to the other side and aggro them from the other side and sort of catch them off guard. I'm trying to hit that hobgoblin. I'm not doing a very good job, am I? There we go. So we got a crit on him. I think there are 2 minotaurs down here. I don't see the other one. Okay, so there's a red goblin. We got him in a crit, so that's good. Unless I already took out that other minotaur. Normally there are 2. I might have missed taking out the other one. I might have skipped over that. Apologize. I would have used my rocket launcher just to take out both of them, basically. Sometimes you'll get them where they're standing really close together, so you can take them both out with one rocket. 1 or 2 rockets at the same time. All right. So we're just looking for ammo. Ammo is a bit of an issue. If you do run out of ammo on your primary and your special and your heavy, you don't get ammo back. You have to synth or find ammo. You don't. The game won't just give you ammo back. Okay, so remember, a bunch of those Vex, a bunch of Vex goblins do spawn in down there as soon as you go down to that bottom area. So I want to fall back and take these guys out. I fall back a little bit too far, admittedly, because you can stay up with these guys and take them out. And there is another instance of these guys coming, a bunch of goblins, just before we get to the Nexus, alright? So we're going to take these guys out, and we're going to skip ahead to that part. Alright, guys? Alright, here we go. We're just coming out of the cave. We're going to run into a bunch of these goblins along this pathway. And I don't have a frag available, unfortunately, so I'm just going to go to town with my Atheons. And trying to hit them in the crits. I know you're going to get some headshots and knock their heads off. They're going to start running at you, but for the most part, you get them in the crit. Just don't try and take them all down at the same time. I mean, unless if you're lucky, I think I'm not sure. Yeah, both the other classes, both the other Titan class and Warlock class, both have Void subclasses, if I'm not mistaken. So you're probably at an advantage if you're running one of those subclasses, especially with the grenades. And if you can run multiple grenades, I know Hyper on his Titan has 2 grenades on his Titan. Okay, so anyways, we're in here. You don't want to waste any time, because you know if you spend too much time up top, there's going to be a yellow health Minotaur that's going to spawn in behind you. So I'm going to try and take these guys out as quickly as possible with the sniper. These guys, there was 1 on the far right and 2 on the far left, and then you're going to have a few of these guys down below. There's probably, I think, 3 of them that are down below. So I'm going to use my rocket launcher. There are the other 2 right there. Going to try and take these guys out, and always watch your mini-map, your radar, because look at that. He just spawned in, right? And it's going to be one shot. I'm using the Truth rocket launcher right here. The Truth, and I'm going to switch to Atheons, take them out, and then I want to finish taking out these guys. Not a viable spot to stay up here, guys, okay? Because when the Nexus spawns in, he is going to keep firing up here, and the splash damage will kill you. You won't be able to have enough time to take enough shots on him to get him down without taking splash damage, and then you're going to have to worry about the Minotaur. So there's a little spot back here, a little cave in back here that we're going to go to. Now, there was 1 Minotaur that I didn't finish taking out, so I'm going to have to deal with him. This isn't the greatest of spots, though. I mean, it's tough. And you have 2 areas, that bottom right and then this top left, where you can actually see, what is it, Seclier? I don't know, I can't remember his name, the Nexus. We'll just call him the Nexus. Alright, so we can see him from here, and I just found that using a rocket launcher isn't viable as well, because if I'm firing at him from up top there, or even on the far right, the far right's not too bad, but there's not much room. Right here, you don't get much of a line or a sight on him, but if I'm using the sniper rifle, and I pretty much finish him off with the sniper rifle. I use a rocket launcher. If you use it on the left side, it's just going to hit the debris that's in front of him. If I use it on the right side here, then I'm risking hitting the wall. I have tried jumping out of here, just trying to jump out, hit him with the rocket launcher and jump back in, but I've messed it up. Like, I've messed it up several times just trying to get back in here, and I just stopped trying. So I'm just going to take my pot shots at him on the right-hand side. When he starts firing at you and doing splash damage on the right-hand side, that's when you want to switch over and shoot him from the left-hand side, okay? So you get a better sight line on the left-hand side, but still not too bad on the right side. Like I said, you take 2 shots from him with splash damage, he will take you down, very, very quickly. And all I do is run back and forth here and snipe them. Okay, I do end up running out of ammo because there's no ammo back here. There are no ammo drops. You do get goblins and hobgoblins and harpies that do spawn in, and I ended up using all my Atheon's epilogue ammo, and I did make a run for it at one point. I have my Blade Dancer on, and I just go into Blade Dancer. I have R2 ability where I can go invisible for a great period of time. I went out, I collected some ammo, and then I jumped back in. But for the most part, I'm just synthesizing sniper ammo. I never ran into an issue as I have in the past. Sometimes if you take too long on these things, then the boss regens health, and I've seen that on Fogoth. But I did, you know, I did spend some time in here trying to take this guy out, and he didn't regen health. So I don't know if that's really the case with this guy. And there are the goblins and everything spawning in, so I'm just going to take those guys out. They're a pain in the ass. They're not too bad, but if you're trying to focus on the Nexus, then it is kind of a pain in the ass because they will hit you and you'll lose health, and then you're susceptible to a one-shot hit from the Nexus, which you don't want to be. So you want to make sure you take these guys out. And that's our cheese spot. I think there's another one where you're sort of up higher. I don't know how well it does, but this spot seems to serve its purpose as long as you are patient and don't go crazy, because I did a couple of times where I was getting impatient and I'm just trying to take too many shots. Well, you can't do that. You got to be patient and take your time, and eventually you'll get it. All right, guys? So I'm just going to skip ahead when I finish it because this goes on for probably about 12 minutes that I just cut out right there. Okay? Then you can see I have 0 ammo, so I think I actually go and get ammo, if I'm not mistaken, unless I'm going to synth. I think I'm waiting for my synth timer to go down. So it took, yeah, I just cut out about 12 minutes, and I think I do have my synth. It's still, actually, no, it's on cooldown. And I'm kind of scared at this point because I do have him down to pretty low health. I don't really want to go out there. I'm scared to, so I just kind of want to sit around and wait for the synth to be ready and then go. All right, so we're just a few seconds off here. Come on. Come on, synth. There we go. All right, so we're going to use it. And I think this is the last little bit where we do end up taking him out. I'm using my invisibility, so this guy's not going to shoot at me. Yeah, look at his health. Nice. Oh, yeah. But again, don't get greedy. And, you know, even though I was firing at him from the left-hand side, don't assume that he's just going to start firing at you, because he's still firing on that right-hand side, as you saw. So you don't want to just run right over and walk right into his splash damage, okay? So we're going to finish him off. Come on. Seriously? Okay, I think he did start firing over on the left-hand side. No, he's still on the right-hand side. Interesting. Most of the time he'll switch. He'll start firing where he saw you last, or where you shot at him last. All right, and come on. Come on, let me get... Yes! Finally. Like I said, this took me probably about 10 attempts to get him, and like I said, a lot of stupid mistakes, but it's the same sort of strategy. I mean, I think it's good to show you these running solo every week, especially considering some of them have varying, you know, degrees of what type of burn they have on as well. Ever since they upped it to level 30 from level 28, it's going to be more difficult. Even though I'm level 31, it's still pretty difficult. All right, guys, so hope you guys enjoyed, and if you haven't finished your Nightfall, well, go finish it now. All right, we'll see you next time. I'm Spider, and I'm out.